Okay, welcome guys to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're going to be making a pentagon kind of potions, kind of collective, kind of jar, if you want to call it that. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with mesh, or what's called circle. And what you want to do at the bottom here, you can see that mine is already a pentagon right here, because five-sided shape. What you want to do is go down to the bottom here where it says add circle, and then you can change how many sides this shape has. So of course we want to go for the 5. I'm going to go ahead and just scale this out with an S. Let's get these screencasting keys on. So S to scale. We're going to go into the edit mode, and what you want to do is you want to just go with F for fill. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, and then we're going to, sorry, my nose is absolutely annoying me. It must be the pollen in the air. Let's take this one. We're going to go Shift D, duplicate it. This is going to be the inside liquid. So we'll go to edit mode on our top one. We're going to go E for extrude. Just one second, just looking at my notes. Okay, so we're going to start off pretty small. So we're going to go, select this one right here. We're going to go E for extrude. Give it a little bevel on the outside. E for extrude. And then we're just going to go straight into the middle, just here. Scale it outwards. Now just trust the process on this one. I've made this a little bit too big on mine, but it's okay. I can shrink this down. Just going to press G, bring that right up there. And then we're going to go E for extrude. And then we're just going to go and scale this inwards at the top. So once we get to the top here, we're going to go E for extrude again. And what you essentially want to do is now make a kind of bottleneck and the little rim that's going around the outside. So let's just scale this one outwards. We'll have this as a little rim. Scale this in. And then we're going to go E for extrude, leave it where it is. And then the best thing to do with this is X-ray, press 1. So we've got this side view going on. We're going to go E for extrude, bring it all the way down. And then, very simple, we'll do E for extrude again. And then we're going to bring it down all the way down to here. Scale it outwards, so that you're right up against the side right there. And then we're going to go E for extrude again. And scale this one down. And then scale it in. Just to the bottom here. And then we're going to go press G, bring it up. And we'll have just a rough bottom on the end of this. So now we have this nice little bottle going on. We can take off the X-ray mode. So I'm going to go ahead and just change my render engine to cycles. And then we're going to go ahead and add a new material. This one will be glass. And within this one we can go for, let's not go for emission, sorry. Let's go for a glass BSDF. So now when we render it, we can see that we have this nice glass effect happening. So, what you want to do as well, if you've not already, right click and shade smooth is definitely an idea that you can do, but if you don't want it like this, you don't have to shade it smooth, you can have it like this and very sharp. So, this bottom piece right here, we can actually make this into some sort of fancy piece. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to Shift D duplicate it again so we've got another copy. I'm going to go G up to the edge right here, and I'm going to go with edit mode. We're going to go E for extrude at the bottom, and then I'm going to go E for extrude again and just kind of scale it outwards so it's got that nice little lip that it can sit on right there. We're going to go S for scale, E for extrude. You want this to just curve around the outside, and I'll show you why in a moment. So here's the little stand that we've got. Just going to select the bottom right here and just bevel that inwards just a little bit. So once we've got this, we've got select all, subdivide, right click to subdivide, and then we're going to go into add modifier, and we'll go wireframe. So once we've got the wireframe on here, you won't be able to see it on this side, so if we go to object mode, we can now see the wireframe. So all we need to do is just bring this up into the base, just about here. So we do have this little gap at the bottom, but we also have this nice little pattern that's going around the edge. So this can be a little stand for it. We can take this, make this a new material, and we can make this black for the stand. I'm just going to go ahead and add a plane in here so you guys can see what's going on. And also another light, I think, because you can't really see what's happening. So, we've got the little jar right there. So the next thing that we want to do, essentially, is get this light sorted out. So, I think we do have a light, but it's not bright enough for what we need it for. So, I'm going to go ahead and change this to a sun. Put this at maybe 5 for the sun, just for the time being, so we can see what's going on. So now we need a little cork that can go into the top, and we also need some liquid that can go into the middle. So I'm going to take this right here and just make this metallic. Gives it a little bit more finesse. And also, I'm just going to go ahead and just pull this outwards a little bit. So, for the next part that we need, if we come off the render side, we have another one of these, which is spare. Just going to Shift D and duplicate that again. I'm going to go ahead and bring this one up. So press G, bring it up. This will be our cork. So our cork just sits just there in the middle. And we're going to go E for extrude. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. E for extrude again. Scale it inwards. Oh wow. Yeah. Sorry, let me just wash my hands right here. I got some sanitizer. There we go. So, the next thing that we need to do is we need to put this cork in. So, if we just place this at the top, we'll go to the X-ray mode right here so we can see what's going on the bottom. E for extrude all the way down, and then you can make E for extrude right here, scale it inwards. So this part right here we could shade it smooth, so you could have a nice little smooth cork. You could also make this kind of grey if you wanted to. You could also put a, if you know how to do the noise textures, you can put that on there. I don't think we're doing it for this project, but you can do it for future projects if you want to. So for the liquid that's going to be going on the inside, I'm just going to go ahead and Shift D duplicate this one again underneath, just in case that we need something on top. So if we go to the wireframe mode, and what you want to do, so this should be the same size as the circumference on this one. So we press G, bring it down, just scale it in ever so slightly, and then what we're going to do, edit mode, and then we're going to go E for extrude, bring it up, and it's best to do this if you're at the side view, number 1, just bring it right into the middle right there. Shade it out, just towards the edges. And you want to just get it just there. Now you notice that these two interact a little bit right there. So the edge of the glass and this is interacting. So if that happens, just select the bottom, go back to 1, shrink this side in until you're relatively, and it's a little bit hard to see, but you're relatively on par with that, and maybe G, bring it up. Just sit it in the middle right there, and then scale outwards just right there. So now you've got this nice little liquid going on. We're going to go E for extrude, and again just scale in. So what you want to do primarily, so let's go into this section right here. We'll go to object mode, we'll go to render. So now you've got a jar full of liquid right here. So what you want to do is go to new. This one's going to be the liquid, so oops. Let's go with a nice green. We want to take the roughness down just slightly. We want to bring the metallic up because obviously it's reflective just as slightly. Bring your alpha down a little bit so that it's slightly see-through. And what we can do with this project as well, that I found really interesting, that I really wanted to do in my other project, is if we take an icosphere, press G on the icosphere, bring it all the way up so you can see what's going on with it. What we're going to do with this is we're going to shade it smooth. We'll go new, and this will be an emission. So we're going to go from principal BSDF to emission, and then we're going to change this to a nice little red. So I'm kind of experimenting at this point, but I'm going to make this smaller, and I'm just going to duplicate a few things out. G, bring that up. Maybe just select all of these and then duplicate them and rotate them. So you've kind of got this weird kind of rotation going on. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I'm just trying something out right here. And then rotate this out. So now I've got all these random kind of emissions. Now we can go ahead and place this in the middle. And in theory, if it shows up, we should have little emission particles. We can actually turn this up a little bit. So it's almost like something's floating inside of whatever this is, a potion. I'm going to change this cork actually to kind of a deep brown. So now we've got these little things floating in there. No one knows what it is, but it's magical. You see that right there? So you can make your liquid a little bit more see-through if you want to. That's totally up to you. Let's see if I can select that. And as well, if you turn off the sun, that could be quite a good effect actually. So let's just go ahead and delete the sun right here. And now you can see you've got all this glowing stuff in the middle, and you've got all of this light pollution that's hitting the base right here, and it's also supplying its own little bit of light pollution inside of the glass. So what you could do at this point, you could actually select a few of these, and you could go Shift A and just bring them up out of the water a little bit. Put some more down here maybe. Let's select these. Let's put some here. Let's go ahead, put some here. As long as they don't come out of the glass, you should be pretty fine. And then this is the effects it will have. So now we've kind of got this weird kind of potion going on that's away from the floor for some reason. Maybe it's got a heat thing going on with it. And now we've kind of got this lava lamp of weirdness running through it. I would say. Let's go to world settings and just go ahead and just make this completely dark. And now you've got a glowing one, so it's like, you know, regardless whether you're making a game or you're making some scenery or something like that, whatever you're using Blender for, you now have like this kind of makeshift lamp, kind of mysterious wizardry kind of thing going on. You could put multiple of these in one room, and like you could just illuminate the entire room just with this. Maybe it's a game or something, and in the story that it's just like this recluse person who's out in the middle of nowhere and they have no electricity, and so they make potions to make lights. I don't know. It's your imagination. Yeah. That's the tutorial for today. I will see you in the next one. I hope to see you. Please subscribe, please like. It really helps the channel out. I'm trying to get up to 100,000 subscribers so that I can get that beautiful play button, because, yeah, I kind of really would like the chance to get one of those. So, yeah, if you like this tutorial, please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Yeah, have a great day.